This is On the Subject, the show discussing film, TV, and beyond, with your hosts Logan Noggle and Zachary Jackson, featuring Malcolm Russell Nelson. Everybody, go with the theme song.
I'm Zach.
I'm Malcolm.
And I'm Logan.
This is On the Subject.
This is On the Subject. And this episode, we're talking about our most anticipated movies, books, media of 2019. And then later in the year, at the end of the year, we'll kind of look back and see if they should have been anticipated or not. Or the dark horse upsets.
Jeez, that's honest. I respect that. Oh, boy.
I'm just like, I know there's things I'm going to want to watch and then be let down, probably.
That's fair.
Usually how it goes.
Yeah. I don't think any of the things on my list I expect to be let down by.
Gemini?
Oh, shoot. I forgot to add that, actually.
That's on
Dang
my
it.
list.
I was going to say, that's a 50-50 for me. So, yeah, we're going to talk about the things we're looking forward to the most and goals. Yeah, the things we want to see happen. I feel like movies is going to be the longest.
Okay, let's do movies.
Yeah, we'll end on the goals for the show.
Yeah, bet. Cool. Well, as far as movies for 2019, there's a few that I'm specifically excited for. Probably top of the list, and especially after the Christmas reveal, Us is 100% top of my list, most anticipated movies. Because it's close enough. It's coming out like in March, and I just want it. Because Jordan Peele crushes. Yeah. And that movie looks amazingly good.
See, that was like something like, even 2 weeks ago, I didn't even know was coming out.
Yeah. What a statement. That guy.
Yeah.
Man, I am excited for that guy to do more stuff.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait for Twilight Zone.
Yeah, me too. That's going to be good.
Is that coming out next? When is that? It's like
that's
in
2019.
Development. It is? Okay.
Yeah, but it'll be CBS All Access, so.
Okay.
You know. That's the bummer about it, but
Gonna get that trial month.
Discovery is good.
Cannot get past the first episode.
I
watched the first episode. Yeah. It's like over-directed.
Which first episode? The first,
like the two-parter.
Okay, so you watched the two parts.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna say like one half is entirely different from the other half. Because if you just watch like that first half, it's like, oh, okay, this is Star Trek. And then you watch the second half, you're like, this is not Star Trek. What is this?
Aside from that, did we just want to talk quickly about probably the biggest movies, and then we can skip into the other stuff we're looking forward to?
Biggest movie. Let's do it. Artemis Fowl.
You're 100% serious.
No.
Mortal Engine 2. Did you hear
Mortal Engine
cranking that up?
They're cranking the engines.
That's the name of the colon. Cranking the
crank the engine.
Avengers Endgame.
The end of an era. The end of how many year? Like 11 year.
It'll be 11, yeah.
11-year story, really? Like that's interesting.
We got Star Wars 9, the end of the new trilogy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It better be good. I swear, JJ, if you disappoint me.
If they backpedal.
If you
slap all of Hollywood.
If they backpedal, I'm going to be so mad. We're going to start a riot.
Actually, we're releasing it in 2 parts. Star Wars 9 Part 1. Star Wars 9 Part 2.
Bringing back decimals. 9.1, but it's the IX.1.
It's like, is this an iPhone update right now?
Exactly.
Spoilers, Spider-Man's probably going to be around because there's a new Spider-Man movie coming out next year.
I'm not fully convinced that movie doesn't take place before Avengers 3.
I still think you're crazy.
I'm not fully convinced that it doesn't.
I disagree. I think
Listen, they said that the first few minutes established that it takes place after.
They aren't ballsy enough.
Maybe they are. Also, everything you hear about this movie just doesn't sound real.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it doesn't seem right. You think they're not ballsy enough to do that, but they're ballsy enough to have, like, 4 elementals be the bad guys of the movie. Like, really?
No, I mean,
come on.
I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal, I don't even think he's
real. You also have to
real.
remember how stupid Sony is. I mean,
then probably the next, my most anticipated, Godzilla, King of Monsters. Captain Marvel comes out.
Captain Marvel, pretty excited.
Yeah.
Pretty excited.
Everything I've seen looks like it's going to be a good movie.
Yeah, it just looks rad.
Actually,
looks well cut.
We've talked about
Well
this
edited.
off mics before, but I've stopped watching like blockbuster movie trailers because they reveal too much.
That's smart.
So I'll watch the teaser and then I'm like, all right, I'm trying to wean off so that I don't. Because I want.
You said wean.
Wean. New goal: never say wean again.
That's
2019
on the list. No ween 2019.
Hashtag no wean.
29th ween, more like.
Cut to the end of the year and I'm like, well, I said it 3,000 times.
Just scrawled across the wall.
Just ween, all in different languages.
My most anticipated movie is Glass.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna say Glass is
hell
next.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's because I love
Hell
Split
yeah.
so much, and Unbreakable is like one of my favorite
Unbreakable's, I think, one of the.
Shyamalan movies.
Yeah, I think it might be his best movie. I haven't seen Split yet, but I think that might be his best movie.
I think I like Split more because McAvoy just crushes it.
Yeah.
The performances on Unbreakable are a little weak sometimes.
And Unbreakable like doesn't age as well because it was
How dare you?
time before a land
CG.
before time. But yeah, I mean, it was before all the like superhero movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's very clearly in a around X-Men world.
yeah.
Like it feels very much like that, which I kind of dig.
No, same. And the
I
story
dig
still holds
for
up.
that movie though.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Another most anticipated for me is Toy Story 4.
I never saw 3. Yeah.
3's better than
Oh.
2. It goes 1.
I don't like 2. That's why I didn't see
Toy
3.
Story 3 makes Toy Story. No, Toy Story 2 makes Toy Story 3 look like Toy Story 1.
You broke me.
This broke me.
I've seen chunks of 3, and I've seen like the ending
Okay.
a few different times.
Yeah, of course. Everyone talks about it. The ending of that movie is fantastic.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want 4. I got a perfect ending. I'm good.
Yeah.
But didn't Rashida Jones like write 4? So that's interesting.
That'll be a thing.
That's
to talk
interesting.
about.
Yeah, that's interesting. So we're gonna have to do Toy Story. That's what you're saying. One that I'm incredibly excited for, though. Well, okay, I say incredibly excited. I actually don't know if this movie's actually going to come out.
Incredibles 3.
Under the Silver Lake.
Oh, nice, good pull.
that
No,
back.
yeah, that's never going to come out. Close. New Mutants.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I keep
I
forgetting.
don't know if that's actually going to happen or
it
not.
will.
But will it?
They
and
will
will
not
it come
shoot
out the way that
They
it
will not
looked
shoot
like it was
themselves in the
supposed to?
foot like by not releasing it because it costs already so much
It did cost a lot of money.
with
Very
reshoots
cheap to
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
money off it. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like I hope that when it comes out and it comes out on like DVD that they have like an original cut and then like the final cut. Because I'm really interested in that original cut that looked like a really interesting horror movie.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm going to be interested in the final cut, which is post reshoots where they added in a character into reshoots.
It's gonna be like Suicide Squad.
What?
It's gonna be like Suicide Squad.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Ugh, it's so disappointing. So, I mean, there's that. Zach, what about you?
John Wick 3.
Oh my God, yes. Return of the Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
JW3.
Then I'm curious about the Hellboy movie.
Yeah. Hellboy is like my most curious. Like to me, that's another one.
Tight.
I'll see it, but
It
it's
looks silly.
it's coming out at the worst time. It's gonna be crushed by 2 huge Marvel movies.
Yeah.
It's not gonna make any money.
No.
There's not gonna be a sequel, so I hope it's a good standalone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Daniel Day
Hellboy-
Kim, so hey, there's that.
Hellboy is definitely a movie that I'm gonna say I'm excited to see now, and then we'll talk about it at the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly. And be like, did we see that?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
Yes. Tarantino's second to last movie?
Yeah,
This is
nine.
number 9, right?
Yep.
So yeah, that's interesting. Gemini Man.
Yeah, that is curiosity.
That is a real curiosity. Like, does that movie exist or not?
Lego Movie 2.
Oh yeah.
Because
That's
I loved Lego Movie 1.
Lego Movie is a perfect movie.
But I don't, once again, it's like with Toy Story, it's like, do we need...
I don't think we need another
Also,
one.
it's different people making it, so that has me a
Yeah.
little worried.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah,
I already got a really great sequel to the Lego movie. It's called the Lego Batman movie.
correct.
And it's a great sequel.
And then a sidestep is Lego
Lego
Ninjago.
Ninjago, which I didn't see. But I
ran-
appreciate the Lloyd joke in the trailer. That makes me laugh.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're good. You
Yeah,
saw
I
the
feel
trailer.
like I'm pretty okay.
Yeah.
You know? They do ninja stuff, right? That's fine.
For me, I'd just say I'm excited to see like what movies I'm talking about at the end of the year, like with all these big like heavy hitters and sequels and like blockbuster sized movies that are already on every like list of things coming out.
Right. What about the small stuff?
Yeah, like Searching wasn't on my list of 2018, and then I watched it and I was like, oh my gosh. And just like, or something like Netflix dropping Bird Box or Hulu or Amazon dropping one of these like TV shows or something. I'm excited to see what comes out that I'm like, oh wait, that was amazing and I didn't expect it.
I'm very curious to see what Netflix does next year. Given that they've already like publicly said like we want to make like 90 movies.
Yeah.
Or like release 90 movies in the next year.
And then they've
with
reined
budgets
in
up to like $200 million.
Yeah.
Like I'm very curious to see what Netflix does with that.
And then with their reining in of like only really original properties, like the whole letting go of Marvel.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to...
But buying Mark Millar.
Right, yeah.
Oh, Jupiter. Well, is that a movie? Yeah, that's a movie. The Jupiter's Legacy movie. If that happens in 2019, I literally can't wait for that. I'm the one person who loves that book.
Have you guys heard of Ad Astra? It's a sci-fi movie by the guy who did The Lost City of Z.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking forward to that. It's got Tommy Lee Jones and Brad Pitt in it. It's like Tommy Lee Jones is an astronaut, and he goes to Neptune like 20 years ago, and so Brad Pitt's his son, and he's like looking for him.
Oh,
I'm sold.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
No Country for Space Cowboy for Spacemen.
Yep. The Sugar Man. That's a good Woody Harrelson performance.
Yeah.
Should we move to series?
TV.
Yeah. I feel like these TV and comics are short lists.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot on either of them. As far as TV, which we were lucky enough to be treated to the first episode of my first pick, Deadly Class, which kind of ties in with comics. But,
yeah.
Did you guys watch the pilot?
I didn't watch it yet.
Super good.
I've heard nothing but good things.
I was very into it. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I love that comic. And I think it's super exciting that like Remender like wrote all the scripts for the show. So like every episode is literally just a Remender production, which is cool.
And it's good it's getting the TV adaptation instead of a movie.
It's a way
Works
better choice.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff is going to hit a lot harder on TV than it would in a movie.
Yeah.
I'm still not quite sold on the main guy.
I think he's fine. He's like the worst one in it, but he's not bad. He's just okay.
It's weird. I kind of wish he was more Hispanic looking.
Me too.
Especially because there's like one line. It's like, oh, it's offensive.
Yeah, he looks. He's pretty white passing.
Yeah.
So, but Lana Condor.
Yeah, and freaking Benedict Wong. He's so good.
Oh, Benedict Wong was so good in it. Oh man. Yeah. So I'm excited for more of that.
I don't know. Does Why the Last Man come out next year?
It's up in the
If
air.
anything, I feel like it'd be like towards the end of the year because they haven't started filming that yet.
Yeah.
Have they?
As far as I know,
They've only done casting. Really.
The last I heard an interview with the guy. I don't remember his name. The guy from Dunkirk.
Yeah.
And
I can't remember it either.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. And he was talking about like
Cillian
how
Murphy.
they were starting to do exactly.
Mark
Kenneth
Rylance.
Branagh.
You mean Dunkirk, the titular character?
Dunkirk. They were talking about how like they hadn't started yet, but they were starting soon, and that was like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'm excited for that.
I'm excited. I'm holding my breath.
It's my favorite Brian K. Vaughan thing, other than Runaways. So, and it's my
love Runaways.
favorite ending of any kind of story. That is the perfect ending. So I hope that they do that show justice.
Barry
Keoghan.
I think that's how you say his last name. I don't know.
Yeah.
Keoghan.
George.
Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Yeah. So good.
There's a lot of like continued series. So once again, I feel like my TV series is gonna be like what originals get dropped by Netflix or like because really quick you got Game of Thrones the last season.
Very excited for that. I'm also worried.
Yeah. Stranger Things season 3, excited and worried.
Yeah.
That's this year.
Then we have the renewed Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Very excited for.
True Detective.
True Detective season 3.
Looks like it's back.
Broad City.
Broad City last season.
Yep.
You're the Worst last season. Like, this is a lot of really good last seasons this year, which really bums me out.
This Is Us. I really like that show.
I have only seen the first episode. I was a wreck by the end of the first episode.
I think I cried 3 or 4 times that whole series. Like, so.
That first episode. I was watching that on the bus, and it gets to the end, and I am just a sobbing mess. Like, I was a wreck.
Solid melodrama.
Yeah. Mindhunter season 2.
Yeah.
I'm excited for.
Oh, is there more of that?
Yeah.
Oh, so I should probably watch that, huh?
Uh-huh. Season 2's coming out, so.
It's a different decade, right?
I think it's like
This
taking
time it's the
place
20s.
later. Yeah. Before pre serial killer name.
Exactly. Thought it was Mindhunter, but actually it's
all about
the
Jack the
Alienist. That'd be awesome.
I'm looking forward to Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. Yeah.
Then 2 more returning ones. Killing Eve, which is like my favorite show this year.
Still haven't seen that.
So good.
It's on my list. I haven't watched it yet.
And then The Terror, because I'm curious to see what they do with the second season. Because it's going to be, it's like an anthology thing they're doing.
Okay.
And second season's about like a Japanese internment camp.
Interesting.
Oh wow. Okay.
As far as like returning TV, I'm excited for the second half of The Good Place. Really like where the first half of the season went. It's really weird. So I'm excited for that. And also, listen, I'm a superheroes kid. So of like the DC TV, I 100% want the second half of Arrow and Supergirl, because I think both of those seasons have been crushing it this year. As far as like new stuff, sticking with the DC TV, Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol looks good.
Starts in a few weeks, which looks really interesting.
I'm hesitant about Titans still because I haven't seen it, and I'm like,
Love it.
But
Their
Doom
episode
Patrol
was like the best one though.
Okay.
Like their episode of Titans was the best
Yeah.
episode. Second best episode.
So
The
Doom Patrol
Jason
I'm
Todd
excited
episode
for.
was best. And Young Justice, which starts up
the last season.
Is it the last season? We'll see.
We'll see.
But
That's what
it's
they
season
said.
3, and it's the Outsider season, and that's my DC team, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I Am the Knight. I'm really excited for that.
What is that?
Chris Pine.
So
like,
that's the
Black
Patty
Dahlia.
Jenkins, Chris Pine
Okay.
show. That's like a limited series on TNT, and it's all about the Black Dahlia murders.
Okay.
But yeah, it's what they did in the interim between like Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 2. Yeah. And it looks incredible. Like just the set production and everything looks amazing, especially for like a TNT show. Like it's really interesting that the premium, I mean basic cable channels like are trying to get into like the high value TV show stuff now that
They're trying to bring it in.
yeah, you know, because like TNT also did the Alienist last year with all of them.
Daniel Bruhl.
Daniel Bruhl and Dakota Fanning and
Space.
Luke Evans.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so it's interesting to see that they're all trying to compete with Netflix and Hulu, which is cool. So yeah, I'm excited for those.
Yeah, I like something Bandro he says on his podcast is like, you know, competing platforms only like helps create more competitive, better content. So it's like when you have the PC versus the Mac, it's like you get competition, you keep that growing, and so having Hulu and Amazon and Netflix all produce original only should help elevate other like TV show channels.
Yes.
So it's like a good time to see what people make. Should we jump down to comics?
I've got one more show.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking forward to Miss America. It's a FX show with Kate Blanchett. It's about a woman.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on her name. She was a real person who was an anti-feminist in the 20s.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it was, or the 70s. And yeah, I don't know. I like her. I like what FX makes. And,
Yeah. I have
Fargo
no idea
season
what.
4.
Fargo season.
Oh,
okay.
who's in Fargo season 4?
Chris Rock is the only person I know for sure.
Chris Rock.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be about like the crime family's first starting.
Oh, so it's going back.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. All right.
It's gonna be funny. It's gonna have jokes.
I'm hoping.
It's gonna be outrageous.
I'm hoping there's a relative of Mike Milligan in it. Because he's the best character in 2.
Yeah.
Bokeem Woodbine, yeah.
So comics for me is a short list.
Yeah, I've got
Because
one.
also I feel like comics is like, well, because like comics like they don't really put out their solicits until they do. So you can't really. Right. And I feel like if you already read superhero books, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna continue to read those titles. So like, there's not a lot of that for me. I'm 2019's the year I try to get back into superheroes.
You let me know when you're ready.
I will.
No, hear me on that. No. You let me know when you're ready.
I will.
I've got you.
There's two that I'm super excited about, which is my boy Jeff Lemire. His original graphic novel, Frog Catchers, comes out next year.
That's right.
So I'm excited. I always like his graphic novel work, like the most. Stupid, amazing writer makes me cry.
He goo.
Yeah. That and then Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips return to Criminal for like serialized monthlies or
what
something.
The hell?
Yeah.
What? It's weird.
Yeah. I feel like once Fargo's done, like FX should just grab the Criminal IP.
Oh man, I would kill for a Last of the Innocents like mini series.
Yeah.
Of them to do like, because that's clearly what like Riverdale wants to be. Is like just that story. Because that's just like dark Archie stuff. But, like, that'd be amazing. I'd kill for that.
And then
yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm looking forward to the new Marvel Conan book by Jason Aaron. I just love Conan. Like I used to read like the magazine size comics like back in the day, and so good. Especially when they would. Oh, nice. It was weird. Like they used to take like old like detective books and turn them into Conan books.
Yeah.
Yeah, just excited for that. Also, I just like sword and sorcery type stuff.
And see, I like fantasy. I don't like the Conan world.
Oh, really?
It doesn't do anything for me. I've heard nothing but good things. We have a friend, Tino. He tries to sell me on Conan. I'm like, your pitch sounds great. I just don't care about Conan. It doesn't do anything for me.
It just does not do.
That's not to say that those stories are good. But that's not like an atmosphere I really care about. But I've heard nothing but good things, and Jason Aaron's amazing. So maybe I'll borrow it from you.
Yeah, all right.
All right, Malcolm.
So I have a few. Along the lines of Conan, Red Sonja is getting a new relaunch. Now, again, I don't care about Conan. I really don't care about Red Sonja. But Mark Russell is writing Red Sonja, which Mark Russell is the writer for the Flintstones book that came out a couple years ago, and Snagglepuss, Exit Stage Left, the Snagglepuss Chronicles from last year. Really interesting writer. Like I love what he does. So I am.
So given a character like Red Sonja,
I'm curious to see like what he does with that. He's doing the Lone Ranger book right now, which is really good. So I'm curious to see what he does with that. I like that Dynamite is trying to snag him and be like, "Oh, that's our guy," you know.
Yeah.
Along the Jason Aaron side, War of the Realms is going to be the new Marvel event this year, which he's been building to literally since 2013 with his Thor God of Thunder run. And it's been happening in the background of all the Thor stuff. It's been like a major Thor plot line since 2013. But now the War of the Realms is finally hitting Midgard. And so it is just going to be a giant, like, crazy battle of, like, all these fantasy creatures and stuff in New York City. Like, that's going to be kind of tight.
That's me.
Plus, it's Jason Aaron. I love Jason Aaron stuff. He's been crushing it on Thor and Avengers. Like, his Avengers book rocks. So I'm excited.
I found
for
him
that.
through Wolverine and then have been trying to follow him.
Yeah, remember when he did the best Wolverine run
in years
for Logan, ever?
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I think that's going to be pretty great. Also, Marvel. I'm looking forward to the new Daredevil run by Chip Zdarsky and Marco Cicchetto.
After his run on Spider-Man, I'm kind of like,
on Spider-Man,
dang.
his run on Star-Lord. Like, Chip Zdarsky can write. And I'm very curious to see what he does with Daredevil, especially if the Daredevil that is shown in the promo images for War of the Realms is the Daredevil that he is doing. Because there's clearly something going on there, and I want to know what that is. And no one's mentioned that, and it's really stressing me out. So I'm excited for that. 2019 should be, along the DC side, 2019 should be the last year for Doomsday Clock. So I'm excited for that to end.
And see what they do.
I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that to end so that hopefully by the end of it, I get the Legion of Superheroes back and I get the Justice Society back. That's all I want. That's all I want.
That's all I ask.
Is that so hard? God. And I'm excited for more of Bendis' stuff over at DC. Specifically, like his Action Comics run, I think has been amazing. It took Action Comics to be like a top tier book from 1000 on, which is great. So I'm excited for more of that. And I'm excited for the Wonder Comics stuff, that imprint with Young Justice leading the way.
Yeah. You got me hyped on Young Justice.
Young Justice, Wonder Twins by Mark Russell. Well, again, really interesting choice there. Dial H, which is from Sam Humphries, who I'm traditionally not a big fan of, but I'm curious to see what he'll do with that. And Joe Quinones on art is going to be awesome. And, they're just reincorporating that back into DC. They have for a bit, because it was a Dial H book for New 52, also by China Melville, which was a weird freaking book. So I'm excited for those. This is also, so we were talking about Brian K. Vaughan a little bit earlier. This is the year that he's going to break my heart, because this is the year that Paper Girls ends.
I just saw that announcement.
Which bums me out, because that's my Brian K. Vaughan book right now. I love Paper Girls. I think it's way better than his other stuff that he's coming out with right now. So I'm really bummed that that's going to be ending this year, but I'm curious to see how that wraps up. It couldn't last forever, so.
And he always, the way he hits an ending is crazy.
He is a very interesting ending person.
Yeah.
Very interesting ending person, because even when I don't think it hits the mark, it still does something.
Yeah,
it still leaves a very lasting effect on you. And I am excited for more Brian Edward Hill work. He's been on the show before. I think he is a very interesting voice in comics, and I'm excited to see what else he does. His Batman and the Outsiders book should come out this year. I'm excited for more American Carnage and the wrap-up for his Killmonger miniseries. I think he has a very interesting voice, and I'm excited to see what else he does.
Yeah.
And that's my comics corner.
So I think that leaves our most, just what our goals are for 2019 as well, for the podcast, for ourselves, blah, blah, blah. Because I think it's good to set that up, give the listeners hey,
it's New Year's resolution.
And then, keep us accountable. Hate me on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, comics wise, I want to, I'm going to be working on pitching books to publishers. So, pie in the sky would get something picked to get published. Awesome. I don't know how long the development stage would be for that. So I'm not going to say picked and published and printed,
but actively have pitched something.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
So I'll have a couple books that are specifically working with artists for pitching them. And if they don't get picked, then finding alternate ways to do that. So I have a couple of those books kind of cooking. And then I have a couple books that I'm going to print myself. For people that have been following me, Beard and Frog has been off and on. So I do have a journey for that to take. So I'm working on that. But I would love to get stuff. My goal is to write 5 books, whether they get made this year. But my goal is to write 5 full scripts and hopefully print 3 books and be pitching 3 books. And then, I take a honeymoon with my wife is a goal for 2019, because we got married in October of 2018. Humble brag. Cynthia Noggle, 10 times a tiger, toy designer, best friend, incredible human being. That's my little plug for my wife there. So yeah.
Tell her about that.
No. I'm hoping to go on a vacation, because I feel like all of 2018's vacations were Comic Cons. Yeah. So it's I want to do, and then again, my goal is to hit 3 Comic Cons this year with books and product, and those things kind of depend on if I have the product in time to apply for the convention. So it's a give and take with that. That's me. We'll circle back and we can talk about goals for the podcast.
For me, I also want to print at least 1 comic book script, a full thing. I'm working on a few right now, and I'm focusing on 2. But I also want to write a spec script and send it into one of the many competitions they have.
Awesome.
I don't care about winning or anything. I just want to do it. And I'm gonna try to do a spec script for an hour-long drama of some sort, and also a half-hour comedy, because I really want to learn to write jokes. It's like a major goal.
Oh man, good luck. Let me know if you figure that out so I can figure it out.
And also, I want to make more video stuff. Like, I'm actually helping somebody with a video in January. It should be out by like end of February.
Cool.
I want to do like at least one a month if I can.
Awesome.
Sweet. Well, for me, I mean, mine are pretty personal. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna throw them out here because I like that. So I first and foremost, I want to just make something good this year. I like that was just all I wrote was make something good. But I think I've decided I have a couple of like script ideas for like full feature length films in my head. And so I kind of want to get those down and like actually come up with at least like some kind of script or something. And if it's something that's small enough that I could actually like, you know, go out and make it and take the next step and actually just put it out myself and make it like a little short film or something, like that'd be cool. But I want to actually like start getting my creative juices flowing. You know, that's the downside about hanging with you guys is I see you guys creating and shit and I want to do that. So I want to do that. And I also want to kind of figure out a direction for myself, just kind of figure out like where I'm going in my life. You know, I just want to have answers for myself, you know. So if relatives ask like, what are you doing with your life, Josh? Then I can be like, oh, this is what I'm doing, you know.
Feel you.
Right? Oh, it's a nightmare.
I avoided my family Christmas party this year because I didn't want to deal with that.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful. I feel like that's a big part of why I don't talk to like my relatives who don't live here.
Yo,
like,
I got married, and that covered a lot of the other things of like them not understanding podcasts or comic writing.
That's the thing. I think that's the only way I can get out of it is like if I get married or if like I knock out my girlfriend. Like, I think that's the only way I could do it.
That pushes the like field post for everything else a little bit further. Because you'll go like, oh, what about the comics and the writing? Like, I'm like, it's such a process. It's not like you just get it done. Oh, well, you know, the Twilight person. Nope. No, Grandma. No. Stop you right there. Is a podcast like a radio show? Sure. Yep.
It's like, so you're telling Buck Rogers stories?
This just in. Yeah. So it's live on the radio? Where do I tune in? And I'm like,
I like that.
Where do I tune in at? Nope.
You always reminded me of a young Johnny Carson.
You have to get to CB radio to listen to the podcast.
We're at 1200 a.m.
My grandpa was a truck driver, so he'd probably be like, what? How do I do this?
Well, you said CB, so now I'm interested.
Yeah.
That's a copy, Rubber Ducky.
Anything else, though? I mean,
that's it for me,
yeah.
Honestly.
I feel like every year we're all finding our direction, right? Like that. Yeah. So don't feel lost in that, especially as all of us having creative brains. It's like you're continuing to find like that path, and some like you look at other professional creators, and then like all of a sudden it's like, oh, now they went from actor to director or artist to writer to screenwriter. Like,
right.
So,
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
we're all still finding that avenue.
Yeah. I don't know. I just want to. I don't know. Maybe have an idea for myself. You know what I mean? Because right now, like I don't know what I am. I don't know what I'm gonna be. You know, but maybe it's time I should figure that out. I'm 28. Yeah.
We can go around and say what we want from the show.
I want the show to help me answer those questions. To be honest, I think
so. This is just therapy. This is just validation and therapy.
This is a lot cheaper than therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But genuinely, like I think. Especially with how we look at things, you know, how we look at comics or movies or TV, I think that's going to help me hone my craft.
Yeah.
I think that'll help me formulate my own ideas and be like, hey, you know, I don't love how they did that, but I would do this. Maybe I could use that for my own thing.
And now we can do checkbacks throughout the year.
Exactly. So. You know, so I think that and surrounding myself with you guys will give me the push that I need.
Well, on Zach's front, I would love for... So this podcast is hosted through Geeks Rising, a platform for podcasts, but potentially other content. So there could be an avenue for this film stuff you're talking about, because you have a couple chatty people that you know. I would love to take this podcast to the Patreon level and be, you know, if the listeners are loving it, give them even more, because I feel like we could just keep talking and. We could do what we're doing with future episodes, which you'll be able to hear in the coming weeks, of like our movie like review, like series of movies, and do that like you're saying, like with a Lost, with like a TV show, and like bonus content, and like maybe a little joke here. People could like sit down with us, almost. And I think looking at the podcast grow, we could potentially get Patreon started for the show. And if you want our merch, our words on your shirts, we could do that.
So awesome.
Sure, with all of our nicknames on it.
There's like, I'm not even gonna lie, there's like that part of me that's like, oh, it'd be so cool to have my logo on a shirt.
Like Whizman Bones shirt.
Whizman Bones.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. Rooster Cogburn on a shirt. But we did it.
It just says suck the poison out.
Yeah, suck the poison out.
Oh, suck the poison out.
For you.
I'm gonna do nothing for you, Sean.
See, that's what I'm saying. Look, we're open to sponsors. Yeah. I'm hungry for that Amazon Prime sponsor. Yo, I watch a lot of exclusive content on there. Just
guys,
saying, Amazon, if you listening,
I want a pair of MeUndies. I just don't want to buy them.
Exactly. That micromodal fabric.
I just want.
Blue Apron can come to my door every night.
Come to my door.
Yeah. Just growing the shows. I think that was a part of like letting the old podcast die to let the phoenix rise of two new shows. With collaborating more and stuff. It's made me excited about taking this show and the other show to different levels. Is there any goals for the podcast you have?
This is like more about me, but I want to get better at being like on like a personality. Yeah. So just being quiet for like too long.
You want to be the zany one.
Not that. No.
You want to be the Griff. You want to be the little stinker.
Yes.
No, I want that Patreon exclusive content. I want to be able to put out extra stuff because I really want to force myself to watch Lost again because I've only seen it once and it's my favorite show, but I need the motivation to do it again because I'm afraid to do it again. I'm afraid. Because what if it doesn't hold up?
It does, trust me. I've seen it 8 times. No, 2.5.
Really?
2.5.
Oh, 2.5 is still pretty good. Okay, awesome.
Well, we're going to check in at the end of the year and maybe throughout the year on our goals, but also we'll be updating you, the listeners, and you can follow that on our social media and everything. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Thanks for taking this journey with us. Hopefully, you stick around. But yeah, definitely. Thanks for at least even checking this out and, taking the journey with us. Hopefully you enjoy what you hear and we can provide for you.
Yeah. So upcoming next, we'll be starting our film reviews. So those are going to be coming up next. We just want to get these introductory episodes out and give you a taste of what you can expect. And then we're going to hit you with movie content and more in the future.
Yes. Can't wait for it.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Deuces. Thanks for listening to this episode on On the Subject. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to share it, subscribe, rate us on whatever podcast source you're using. For more content or to reach out to us, follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at On the Subject. And for more details, links are in our show notes. Thanks again.
This has been a Geeks Rising production, your executive producer of Vandrew Scott. For more information, head over to www.geeksrising.com.